Hello, amazing beings. Welcome to Ghost Connection. Now enjoy two scary stories about crime scene cleaners.
I've been working in forensic cleanup for 7 years. I started after leaving nursing. My mind couldn't take watching people die slowly anymore. I thought it would be easier dealing with the after than the during. I was wrong. Most times what's left behind is worse. It was a Monday when I was called to a hotel downtown, an old place, but still operational. Low-budget tourists, businessmen on quick trips, and every now and then, situations that ended badly. Room 209 was one of those cases. According to the police report, the guest, a 51-year-old man named Aaron, checked in alone on Friday and was found dead on Sunday, locked from the inside. Suicide. Deep wrist cuts in the bathtub. But something in the staff's report caught my attention. The maid said that on Sunday morning, someone responded when she knocked. A deep voice, but incomprehensible. And that was hours after the estimated time of death. The front desk assumed it was just someone with the TV on, but when the smell started to spread, they called the police. My job was simple: disinfect the bathroom, remove any dried blood residue, treat the mattress with peroxide, and collect any items with bodily fluids. The usual. I've handled far worse. But room 209 felt off. It was cold, not air conditioning cold, tomb cold. The mirror was massive, covering the entire wall above the sink. An old glass, slightly stained at the edges, with hairline cracks. When I turned on the yellowish ceiling light, my reflection looked off, a split second delayed. Barely noticeable, but I saw it. I started cleaning like always. Gloves, mask, protocol. Used the UV flashlight to detect blood traces. And that's when I noticed something bizarre. Footprints coming out of the bathtub. Not from the victim, he died inside. Barefoot prints heading toward the mirror. And there, on the bottom edge of the mirror, written in darkened blood, it said, "He saw me first." A chill ran down my spine. The blood looked fresh, even though forensics had already been through. I grabbed the chemical reagent and tried to clean it, but the phrase wouldn't come off. I scrubbed, and still, it was like it was inside the mirror. I looked at my reflection and realized something was wrong. I wasn't alone. For a split second, I saw a silhouette in the corner of the bathroom behind me. Tall, dark, still. I turned quickly. Nothing. But when I looked again, the reflection wasn't right. I moved, but it lagged, just slightly. I got closer to the mirror and inspected it with the flashlight, pressed my face against the glass, and I heard, right by the glass, a breath. Low, warm. I jumped back, but the reflection smiled before I did. I went back to the company and asked not to be assigned to hotels anymore. But the manager said it was just stress. You're letting the atmosphere get to you. It happens. It will pass. I started seeing misaligned reflections in storefronts, car windows, even coffee spoons. There was always a delay, like something in there was trying to match me, but couldn't quite fake it right. On the third night after the cleanup, I went to brush my teeth and noticed my bathroom mirror was stained. I didn't remember leaving any marks, but there it was. A message written in the condensation. He saw me first. Same handwriting, same words, Shaking, I wiped it with a towel. It disappeared. But when I turned off the light and went to bed, I heard something fall in the bathroom. I ran back. The toothbrush was on the floor, and the mirror cracked, a fracture running through the center. In the shattered reflection, for a moment, I saw something on the ceiling, clinging, like it was crawling around the edges, trying not to be seen. I went back to the hotel, desperate, asked to speak with management. They said room 209 was sealed off, and strangely, no one on staff remembered the cleanup. Not my name, not my face. I asked at reception to review the hallway cameras. They said there's been no footage from that floor since last month. When I asked why, the receptionist simply said, 209 has been closed for years. It doesn't make sense. I was there. I cleaned that bathroom. I saw the blood. Then I heard a click behind me, turned and saw the elevator opening. On its own, light flickering. And inside, on the polished steel wall, the reflection. I wasn't alone. I ran, never went back. Now I live in a small apartment, no mirrors, just a window and a dim light. But sometimes in the glass at night, I see the reflection of someone standing behind me, even when I know I'm alone.
I've worked in forensic cleanup for nearly 10 years. I started after a messy divorce and a financial collapse that left me deep in debt and without solid ground. It was the kind of job no one wanted, cleaning blood, tissue, and body remnants after murders, suicides, or undiscovered deaths. But it paid well, and it kept me occupied. What most people don't understand is that after a while, you stop thinking about what you're cleaning. Each scene becomes a checklist. Mask, gloves, scrape, disinfect, biohazard bin, photographic record, done. I had cleaned everything. Blood-soaked rooms, showers with knife marks, even an attic where an old man died sitting and was only found weeks later. But nothing stuck with me like the case on 244 San Silvestre Street. It was an old house in the Nova Cachoeirinha neighborhood. The victim was a 37-year-old woman named Fabiana. According to the report, she had been stabbed more than 30 times by her ex-husband, who then fled and jumped off the Antonio Carlos Bridge. A complete tragedy. The police only released the property 2 days after the forensic work. When I entered with my teammate Julio, I felt something strange. The smell, of course, was there. Iron, dried blood, a sour note. But there was something else. The air felt heavy, dense, as if the house were still alive and in pain. The scene was horrific. Signs of struggle in the living room, furniture overturned, blood spatter reaching the ceiling. The body was removed, but the rug in the center still held a massive blood stain. She must have died right there. The place was suffocating. We started with the kitchen, then moved to the bedroom. When I approached the rug, I noticed something odd. The blood looked fresh, like it hadn't dried completely. I used a scalpel to scrape the top layer, and I swear on everything holy, the blood dripped. I shouted for Julio, but he didn't respond. I went to the kitchen, no sign. Checked the bedrooms, nothing. Went out the yard, empty. Looked out front. His car was still there. He couldn't have gone far. I went back inside. The stain was bigger. I won't lie, I panicked. Thought maybe it was gas or I hit my head and didn't realize it. But when I picked up my phone to call Julio, I saw I had been alone for 47 minutes. 47 minutes. I hadn't even noticed time pass. The phone rang. Unknown number. I answered, my voice trembling. "Gustavo, you shouldn't be there." A female voice, firm but hollow. "Who is this?" "She's still here. You're tampering with the wrong place." "Fabiana?" The call dropped. I ran out of the house, found Julio sitting on the curb, pale as a ghost. "Where the hell were you?" I asked. "Me? I was looking for you," he shouted. "You stood there staring at the rug for almost an hour, talking to yourself." I replayed the footage from our uniform camera, and sure enough, I stood there, motionless, staring at the stain, murmuring disconnected phrases. Things like, "He wasn't supposed to come in. He promised. He promised." After that day, I couldn't sleep properly. I started hearing knocks on my wall, always at 3:27 a.m. 3 knocks, always the same. I never saw anything, but I felt it, as if something was in the hallway, standing still, watching. The smell of blood started following me. In the car, in the bedroom, even in the bathroom. Washed my clothes 3 times, replaced my mattress. Nothing worked. I went to the company and asked for leave. Said I was burned out. But before leaving, a colleague pulled me aside. "You cleaned Fabiana's house, didn't you?" I nodded. "I read about the case. You know what no one mentioned? The ex-husband, he killed someone else before, a friend of hers. They found blood from 2 people in that house, but never said where the other body was found. The police covered it up. Why?" I asked. "Because the other body was never found." 2 weeks later, I moved. New city, new routine, but the knocks continued. 3:27 a.m., 3 knocks, always the same. One night, I decided to record it. Left my phone pointed at the door, woke up to the knocks, same as always. Went to check the video. The file was corrupted. But for a second, before the footage distorted, you could see it. Someone on the other side of the door. And in the living room mirror, something was written, like condensation. The stain is still there. I went back to the house months later. It was empty, abandoned. But when I looked through the living room window, the rug was still there, and so was the stain.